Chapter 2. The Louisiana Purchase. A purchase is something that is bought with money. Imagine you live with your father, your mother, and your two sisters in a wooden cabin that looks like a small box. Inside the cabin are all the things your family owns. Every morning you look outside and see that you are surrounded by deep, rolling water. Your home is a house on a boat, a flatboat that floats in the Mississippi River. The word rolling describes something that has small, gentle hills or slopes. The phrase rolling water means that the water's not completely still and flat. Instead, it moves in small, gentle waves. A flatboat is a boat with a flat bottom and square corners. It's used to carry loads across the river and can also be used as a house. What is a flatboat? You stand on top of the cabin. You steer the boat with long oars. You drift down the mighty Mississippi River, one of the few ways to reach the West. But you're heading south to the busy city of New Orleans, which will be your new home. At night, under the light of a glowing lantern, you write down your thoughts and dreams. To steer is to control the direction something is moving. You steer a car with your hands on a steering wheel. You steer a boat with oars, which are long poles that are flat and wide on one end. The Mississippi River flows south to New Orleans. Many cities were built along the Mississippi River as settlers moved west. Settlers used the river to carry themselves and goods long distances. Where is New Orleans located? As you get closer to New Orleans, you see boats carrying barrels of apples, salt, bags of flour, tobacco, and wood. These are things Americans trade with one another and with other countries. Boats constantly stop at the noisy port of New Orleans to load and unload. The port is where traders send goods to other states and across the Atlantic Ocean to Europe. But there's a problem. New Orleans is not an American city. It belongs to France. A port is a town or city built around a place where ships can stop to load and unload people and goods. Traders are people who make a living by exchanging and selling goods. The land west of the Appalachian Mountains did not all belong to the United States at this time. France owned a lot of the land. Remember, France is located in Europe, across the Atlantic Ocean on the other side of the world. What was New Orleans like? The United States owns most of the land from the Atlantic Ocean to the Mississippi River, but if you cross the Mississippi, you are standing on land owned by another country, France. France owns all the land west to the Rocky Mountains. That huge area is called Louisiana and is about as big as the United States at this time. President Thomas Jefferson wants to buy this land from France. He wants American farmers to more easily use the port of New Orleans. He's written a letter to the French government and has sent 2 men to France to try to buy New Orleans. Who owned the land between the Mississippi River and the Rocky Mountains? What did President Thomas Jefferson want? What did he do? The ruler of France at this time is Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon wants to be the greatest leader in the world. He wants France to be the most powerful country in the world. He's leading France in a war against Great Britain. At first, Napoleon says he will not sell any land, but he needs lots of money to fight the war against Great Britain. So he changes his mind and says the United States can buy New Orleans and all of Louisiana for $15 million. This may sound like a lot of money, but it is a very low price for all that land. Do you think $15 million is a lot of money? You probably do. The purchase was actually a good deal. The price of the land worked out to be about 1/2 of a cent per acre. The size of an acre is about the size of the school's playground, or an area of about 4 houses and yards put together. Why was Napoleon, the ruler of France, willing to sell land to the United States? How much did the United States pay for New Orleans and all of Louisiana? The two men sent to France by President Jefferson say yes to the deal, which is called the Louisiana Purchase. President Jefferson hears the good news on the night before the 4th of July. Soon after, America takes control of New Orleans. Do you see the image on the page? The image shows the transfer of ownership of New Orleans after the Louisiana Purchase. Soldiers are taking down the French flag and raising the American flag. Some soldiers have guns raised to fire a salute. The area of New Orleans shown in the image still exists today. It is called Jackson Square. When did the Louisiana Purchase take place? Why did President Jefferson want to buy land around New Orleans and the Mississippi River from France?